actually in Scotland. Stopped at Gretna Green right across the border so their driver can get a break. You may have heard of Gretna Green before. It is famous, or maybe infamous is a better word, for being a popular place for elopement, like you see in Pride and Prejudice. Don't worry, I haven't found any cute European boys to elope with yet. Well, they have sheep shortbread here, which is too freaking cute. So I forgot to vlog yesterday. It's currently day 2 of our spring break trip. Yesterday was mainly traveling, and then we got to York in the afternoon. We did a guided tour of York Minster and then some of the city. We had dinner at the hotel, and then we did a ghost tour. Both tours were excellent. The guides were really good. Our guide for the city tour had been a former history teacher, and then the guy who did the ghost tour he was just a really good storyteller. An excellent voice. He knew how to tell a story well. He knew how to create suspense and atmosphere, and he was just really good at his job. Honestly, he needs to make audiobooks. The ghost tour wasn't really that scary. I'm a big chicken, so that's saying something. There was maybe one story that scared me a little, but it really wasn't that bad. We were supposed to do the ghost tour in Edinburgh. That's the one they usually do. It is so popular that it is booked through the entire month of March. So we had to rebook one in York. I don't know if there are like scarier tours available or anything. They might have chosen that one because there were kids in the group, because one of the professors brought his family, or if the ghost tours really aren't that scary. I don't know. Today was another day full of travel. We made our way from York to Edinburgh, where we are now, in a really nice hotel, and I'm so happy because we get to stay here 2 nights. It's like really nice. On our way from York to Edinburgh, we stopped at the Bronte Parsonage Museum, and I was so excited when the professor asked if anyone was interested in detouring to the parsonage on our way up north. Wuthering Heights is one of my favorite classics, and the parsonage was actually on my bucket list for this trip, so I'm really glad we got to go. Nearly everything in the house is original. It's the furniture, clothes, and other personal items that belong to the Bronte family, with the exception of a few things. And anything that had been destroyed, redecorated, remodeled, the museum and Bronte Society redesigned to be period accurate. Like even down to the fabric they used for the curtains or the color they used for the wall paint. And it was just so cool to see all of that. And then we went to the church near there where the father, Patrick Bronte, had preached, and where the whole family, excluding Anne, is buried. Their family has a very tragic story if you don't know much about them. The wife died shortly after the Bronte family moved to that home. The 2 oldest children, Maria and Elizabeth, died when they were only 11 and 12, I think from tuberculosis. The mother died from cancer. Branwell, Emily, and Anne all died in rapid succession. They all died within a year period, and Charlotte survived them for a bit longer. She got married, but was only married for a year. She died in the early stages of her pregnancy. Patrick Bronte survived his entire family by many, many years. And so all of them, excluding Anne, are buried under the church floors. She died on her way to Scarborough because she thought the sea air and the climate there would be better for her lungs because she was also sick. And so she's buried there. We ended it with a trip to the wild moors behind the house that inspired Wuthering Heights. And it is so beautiful and haunting, and I can see why it inspired Emily to write her famous novel. I did pick up a little something at the museum shop. It wasn't what I originally wanted. The first thing that had caught my eye when I went into the shop was this beautiful copy of Wuthering Heights. It's like one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen. And I'll try to put a picture up if I can find one online, because I did not think to take a picture of this. It had a black cover and pink and white cherry blossoms all over it, and the edges were sprayed gold and were shimmery. And it was gorgeous, but it was really heavy and expensive, and I knew I wouldn't have room for it in my suitcases. So I got another book instead. It is How to Be a Heroine, or What I've Learned from Reading Too Much, and it's kind of like a memoir or collection of essays, and it's all about the author Samantha Ellis and her experiences with reading, and specifically with the female characters she has encountered and how they've impacted her or shaped her idea of what it means to be a woman. I read the introduction and the first couple pages of the first chapter or prologue, and it sounded really good, so I'm excited about this book. Yeah. We are now at the hotel in Edinburgh. We've had dinner, and my roommate and I are just getting ready for bed, and then we're going to have a movie night with some of the other girls. I think we're watching P.S. I Love You because it's set in Scotland partly. This is Arthur's seat, and we are about to climb it. So we thought that was Arthur's seat. That's what we're hiking up. But actually that is. On top of the volcano right now. It's freezing stuff. I'll put my beanie out and give it. We are currently at St. Andrews, Scotland, famous for its golf course and maybe even more so for its beaches. It is the site of the famous scene in Chariots of Fire. You know, that music and they're running. Yeah, that's right here. It's on, I think, the right side of Scotland, on the coast of the North Sea, aka very cold. According to our bus driver Ian, if you stick your toes in the water, your toes will not only be frozen, you will be frozen up to your knees. But it happens to be a beautiful day. The weather is amazing. I almost don't need my coat. There's a nice cool breeze and it's just wonderful. But we do have some storm clouds in the background. But I think we're going to be back on the bus before it starts raining. So we finally caved while we were at this visitor center, and Emily and I got the little Scotty dog cookies.
Look how cute. They fit perfectly into the scenery.
So we have finally arrived at Glencoe after a long day of traveling. Mainly just going past farmland and then the highlands, just open countryside basically, which is not a good mix with a bus that doesn't have a bathroom on it. I think getting a bus with a bathroom on it would have been a very good idea, considering it's like 4 or so hours in between stops usually. I'm just saying, we've gotten it before. Could have done it again. You know, splurge a little bit. I think it would be worth it. You have to pay for a lot of the public bathrooms here anyway. So, yeah, we are finally at Glencoe. Basically, we're in a log cabin in the middle of mountains. Just everywhere. And that's all we were seeing on our way up here, and it was enchantingly beautiful. And this was just seeing it out of a bus window. I'm already in love and know that I don't want to leave. And I've been at Glencoe for like less than 30 minutes. It's just one of those places. We're staying here tonight, all of tomorrow, some of the day after. This is the first time we have nothing planned. No activities or tours or anything like that. We just have all of this to ourselves. And being on the road in a bus with people for so many hours, for so many days, it's a blessing. And I will thoroughly enjoy it and take way too many pictures and videos for my phone to possibly hold. Anyway, this is the view from my room window. Yep. This is our backyard for the next few days, and I can hardly believe my eyes. Like, it's just so unreal. Look at all of this. How is it possible for something to be this beautiful? And the clouds, like, they're so thick that they just, you can't see the mountains through them. It's ridiculous. And they just hang there. What? We had an hour break after walking from the town because that was a long way, but we are trying to get to that waterfall right there. Oh goodness, why do we keep doing this to ourselves? So, as you can tell, I am a bit wet and I am not on a mountain waterfall. We didn't get to go there because as we were walking, we realized there was there's like the road and then the river and then the mountain. And the land, where the land started, there was a fence. And so the only way to get where we needed to go was to go through a sheep farm. And we didn't think that the owner would appreciate us trespassing on his land, basically. So we're like, okay, there's this other mountain with another waterfall, not as impressive, but we can do that. Plus it was closer to the hotel, so we started back and it started raining and the wind picked up. So under those conditions, and it would have just gotten worse the higher we got in elevation, it would have been too dangerous for us to go hiking. So now we are back at the hotel. I am going to shower and then get all warm and cozy. There's a fire in the foyer, so I think I am going to read and do some journaling there, maybe some editing, maybe take a nap back in my room, I don't know. I'm just gonna chill until dinner time. Kind of disappointed that we didn't get to hike, but we did get some pictures and at least there's that. We are currently at William Wordsworth House at Bridal Mount in Ambleside, and this is just really cool. We've already gone to the house, and right now we're in his garden because he loved gardening, and it kind of also reflected his ideals and see in his poetry, the romantic style, and it's just so beautiful here. And where's it? Here's one of the daffodils that inspired his famous poem. So, bit of a reading update. I just finished King of Scars, and my thoughts are, I need part 2, like, right now. Leigh Bardugo, why are you doing this to my babies? I've heard the ending of King of Scars being described as a bomb going off, and that's exactly what happened. Like, everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong. Like, ugh. The problem is, it's a new release. It only came out end of January, and so that means we probably won't have part 2 for another year. Like, I know Ninth House is being released later this year. I'm excited about that, but that's not what I need right now. I have issues with this, because I'm, like, dying on the inside right now, and I will be dying on the inside for the rest of the year. This is not okay. So I'm just saying, if you haven't read King of Scars, prepare yourself as best as you are able, because nothing could prepare you for this, for what happens. And if you have read King of Scars, thank you for sharing it.